Hello, my YouTube universe. This is Owl Doll again, and I'm gonna tell you about my experience with high school so far. Because apparently, you guys probably want to know that. Because I had this whole introduction of what I thought high school would be like, and now I'm gonna show you what actually happened with some highlights. Oh my God, my boyfriend is texting me. Let's just swipe up on that. Okay. Now back to the video. Sorry, my distraction. So, people say it's not going to be like High School Musical, and that is right. It's a lot more dull than High School Musical, even though, it's a lot more like Heather's, as in we have our own JD, and by that I mean, in our advisory today, there was this girl who sat behind us, and we heard her say three different times in her whole, rant that she was going to blow up the school. 3 different times. So we have, a future JD on our hands. Though I think she's already a senior, so, a current JD on our hands. So, if anybody dies and they say it's a suicide, it's not a suicide. Anyway, Todd Beamer life, everything, high school, yeah. Okay, so, crash course. Todd Beamer is a school named after a guy who helped save people in 9/11. And it is 2 stories, lots of sports, and they have A days and B days. So A days are 4 classes, and then B days are 4 classes, and your lunch varies on which day, unless it doesn't. That all depends on you. So anyway, my schedule for A day is, which was today, except it was a half day, so it was weird. It was graphic design, biology, visual communications, and PE. PE is after lunch, which sucks. I know, it sucks. It just sucks. Well, it used to be graphic design. Well, on Monday, I was transferred out of graphic design. I didn't request a transfer. They just sort of just transferred me out because, you know what? Some other guy wanted no more than you did. I don't know. That's just how it works. So I was transferred into composites and manufacturing. What do? They make plastic, I think. I don't actually know if I've only been there for a day and a half. Technically, it'd be 1 day because it was a half day today and then a half day when I got there. So, been there for a day. And I'm 3 chapters behind everybody else, and there's a test on Friday, and I don't actually know how to use a saw, which I'm going to learn how to do and get to do on Friday, which will be awesome. So anyway, I got down to the composites and manufacturing. I walk in, give her the note that I'm transferred into class. The first thing she says to me, "You can't be here." And I was I was about to I don't know, shut down or have a panic attack, because I really wanted graphic design. That's the one elective I had that I actually asked for, and now I don't have it anymore, so I was sad. Happy though, I got out of taking a test that day, but small joys in life. So man, and so I have apparently this confused look on my face of why can't I be in this classroom? And she's like, well, the state and I decided that to legally work in the classroom with all the saws and everything, there can only be 24 students, and I made 30. So she has to get 6 or 7 people to be transferred out of the class. And since I was the last one, I was probably going to be transferred. And I was like, okay. And then she hands me a packet. She's like, just in case, you aren't being transferred, here you go, just catch up on everything. So, I'm working in Sounds. I know basically, well, actually I know a lot of people, but they're the popular people who I don't have to talk to. So, they knew my name, so it was annoying. And so, I went to my work silently and everything, and I come back today on the half day, second day there. It turns out I'm still in the class. So now it's a permanent thing until they switch me again. If they switch me again, I don't know. It's weird. He's weird. Everything's weird. Todd Beamer is weird. High school, middle school, everything is weird. Life is weird, guys. It's the big takeaway from this is life is weird. Anyway, so today, and we had to draw this specific, I know the thing was a practice for precision, but it was so specific, and I did not have a ruler at all. I eventually stole one from one of the popular kids because if she's going to leave it there, it's going to get stolen. And so I basically just winged it, and I give it to her. She's like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. And I'm like, well, thank you. She's like, everyone's been having such a hard time on this. And I'm like, I didn't even use a ruler. Hi. Anyways, then to my next class, biology. Biology's pretty cool, except we have to go and find a new seating arrangement every single time. That's hard because somehow Kate, my friend Kate, and I somehow become the leader to all of the order placements. And I was like, guys, I'm just gonna give up on this one. Just not gonna do this. One time, Kate and I had a strike, and nothing got done, so we had to go back and try again. And then visual communications, which no one actually knows what the class is. It's not a course for dummies, as I've taken it now. It's basically everything that other electives don't want to do, they give it to him. So everything's really basic. He's also a first grade teacher, And everything we do is like first grade level skill, so it's easy. And as long as we finish it before January, it's okay. You know, we're allowed to have popcorn and tea, anything else we can heat in a microwave. We get fours for basically anything. Like, we get a four for going to the open house. We get a four for doing his job for him. We get a four for vacuuming, a four for cleaning, you know, a four for showing him we're able to type on a computer. It's the simple things in life. Then PE, which is pretty much the same thing as every other PE class, you know. So nothing really big there, except you're allowed to wear your own clothes when you go to PE. Except the PE dress code is stricter than the actual dress code, which is weird, because the dress code for Type B was you can wear anything as long as your stomach isn't showing, even though if your stomach does show, they don't actually care, you know? As long as your pants are over your underwear, and as long as you don't have to have, like, people having sex on your shirt, then you're fine. And then I go to the PE, and they're like, oh, by the way, you can only wear t-shirts or sweatshirts, and you can only wear leggings, sweatpants, yoga pants, or shirts that go down to your knees. So I'm like, I thought I was able to wear shorts this year, but apparently not. And it said no jewelry whatsoever, including earrings. And I was like, well, we'll have to make it work. The only bright side is that the lockers are bigger, which is awesome. And anyway, down to my B days. My first period is English, which is awesome, except I got in trouble for reading in class, which is weird, because it's English. But you know what, who cares? Reading is reading, and it's in English, and I love it, so there, ha. And my next class is, if I can remember, I'll tell you. What's my next class? Oh yeah, college and career prep, which is basically discount advisory, because we give weird names to different classes that we don't like. Basically, it's a course that makes every single freshman take Avid. Wait, I think I told you this. Say not discount advisory. It's discount Avid, and so basically do a bunch of Avid type stuff. And the class is okay. You know, I have Naya there, so it's worth it. But like, I don't know. I could take it or leave it. Like, it's not benefiting me for me being there. It's not benefiting me for not being there. You know, it's like just another class. You take it, and it's there. And then I go out to history, which is the best class. All my friends took AP psychology, human geography, but I have world history, which is like the not AP class, and it is the best class ever. My teacher knows karate, so he goes and he like does like the whole like staff like tricks with his ruler. You know, he tosses the globe, and he has like frequent rap battles with the people in his class. And it's awesome because he always wins. And it's amazing. And of course, I love history because it's like my area of expertise. I mean, I've gotten candy for answering questions, right? Like the capital of Indonesia. Yeah, I got you there. Jumped over a chair to tell him, but it was worth it. Those gummy bears were worth it. And then my last class of the day would be advanced algebra, which is like algebra 2. And it was so fun because my friend Alyssa, who's been in all my math classes, is in my math class there, along with Lauren and our new friend Azari. And the funny thing is about Azari, she's so cool. Like, if Nandi in the video, the one who was pinned by Naya in my last video, she's a lot like Nandi, except she has like an afro thing going on. And so I assumed she was a freshman. And I was like, wow, you know, there's a lot of freshmen in this class. You can clearly tell like who the juniors are. And we were talking. She's like, wow, you guys look so young. I'm like, what do you mean we look so young? And she's like, you know, for juniors look so young. We're like, we're freshmen. She's like, oh, I'm a junior. I'm like, what? It turns out like a lot of the juniors thought that we were juniors, like all the people there, and because they knew like the boys were freshmen. Don't actually know why. You know, they're the people who actually look like they aged, but, you know, whatever. So look like they were freshmen. And so they're talking, they're like, it's a table of freshmen. I'm like, actually 2.5 tables of freshmen. And they're like, what, you're a freshman? I'm like, yes, I'm a freshman, okay? Okay, there. So now that you know what my daily routine is like, oh yeah, and then lunch. Lunch is awesome because you can basically do anything for like 30 minutes. And so we eat lunch, and then you don't actually have to go to the lunch line to get lunch. They actually sell pizza at the snack bar. So it's a lot easier, actually, but also have chocolate cookies, which is also worth it. At the beginning of the year, we played Cards Against Humanity, which, if you haven't played, is one of the best games in the world. It was so much fun. You know, don't play it if you haven't experienced middle school yet, but it's amazing. And then they banned it. We're like, why are you banning it? She's like, it's too inappropriate. I'm like, this is high school. Half the ladies wear bodycons like on a daily, so why is this inappropriate? But you know what? It's still chill. We have fun. Now that it's homecoming, we're just voting for people, nominating people. Emily and I nominated a fictional character, and it has more votes than me, and I'm kind of sad, but you know, she has like the most votes out of the senior girls, so it's kind of hilarious. Like, if she wins, I'm just gonna die of laughter. Okay, so on to like the specific like highlights of my week. Last week we had our first Spirit Week and assembly. One of the Spirit days was 90s days. My mom gave me her old dress from the 90s and these shoes. So the shoes are like 4-inch heels, and if you know me very well, I am not that coordinated. I'm not good with balance or walking in general. So, all of my friends, including my boyfriend, bet $16 in total that I would fall. After that day, they now owe me $16 in total. Another thing, there was a fight in school today, as you saw in my last video. It started actually over Crocs. As Nandi was wearing Crocs, and Nai's like, are you seriously wearing Crocs here? And that became the first fight. And you didn't see in the video because Emily started videoing it late, but Nai actually went and flipped Nandi over her shoulder and pinned her. Now we all fear Naya just the tiniest bit. I think that's all I have to say about this. Oh yeah, so like, comment, subscribe down below if you have anything for me to rant about. Anything. Oh yeah, another huge rant about the assembly, the Spirit Assembly. They had the dance squad. Oh, first they had the cheerleaders. And the cheerleaders don't actually do any like tricks or anything because they're all like sort of overweight, except for one. But we're the freshmen, so basically we had to look at everybody's butt while they perform for the seniors and juniors, because that makes sense. And their butts were falling out of their skirts, and I was so done. And then Alyssa, she was sitting next to me, she's like, why didn't anybody want to be a cheerleader anymore? And I'm like, well, like, it was like in the 80s, so they had the pleated skirts that went down to your knees, and you actually had to do flips to be in there. I would try out at least, because it'd be fun then. But if you're just dancing, that's not good. And then the dancers came out, the Todd Beamer dancers, and all of it was twerking. Like, the whole thing was twerking. I'm like, this is why we have issues with like prostitutes and that kind of thing. And all these things on campus, because they promote twerking in their routines. Like, they have a whole issue at Illahee, and this usually get to Todd Beam, where it's like, nope, you're allowed to do it now, because that's what wins literally every single dance contest ever. Just get catchy music, twerk, and then you're popular. That's all it is. So, yep, that's been Todd Beamer, at least for like first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I don't actually know. Oh yeah, then riding the bus. Yesterday, I was sort of kicked off the bus. Like, I wasn't officially kicked off. She just said, you know, she just told me, unless you get like a pass from the office to be on the bus, you can't go on this bus. Well, I thought, first, I didn't know you had to be registered to be on the bus. And I thought about it. I was like, you know, that makes sense. Make sure, like, no, like, criminals or anybody were being on the bus. Second, I was like, well, why aren't I registered to be on this bus? So I went down, got the pass saying I was allowed to be on the bus. Right when the bus driver came in to complain about me being on the bus. Then she goes, and now she has a name count going back. Taking names, make sure that you're supposed to be on the bus. It's hilarious. I take 2 buses. So, anyway, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and show me some love by showing this to your friends. I love all of you. I hope you have a much better experience, or at least a more less twerk-filled experience of high school. If you have any interesting stories, comment below. If you have anything you'd like to see me do or like rant about, comment below. If you just want to show me some love, comment below. And I'll see you next time I have something incredible to tell you, or something funny to show you, or like to rant about. So long, and thanks for all the fish. I love you!